So, only one more day out. Literally, yesterday's tomorrow, and it's gonna be first thing in the morning. Well, technically it's day tomorrow. I don't know, it's weird. It also might be a bit of a long one, because legitimately I have a lot to talk about through the next couple of things. So, that's gonna happen. So yeah, first, we have two movies I have not seen, but I feel like I should mention it. There's also the other Mission Impossible, but I didn't talk about any of them so far, so I don't feel like as much. It's named. But yeah, you obviously have FNAF. I have been FNAF. Sort of streamed FNAF and then stopped. I am going to come back to that. I'm not going to go to FNAF 2. I realise there's a couple of things I want to do, and I might want to go back to 420. Even though realistically I am never going to achieve it. But there's other stuff I want to maybe stream first and put to the side. So that might come back. I don't know. The game terrifies me. Saw X, again, haven't seen, but again, I literally mentioned each Saw because I've seen, besides Saw X, isn't the only one I haven't seen. Haunted Mansion, I know a lot of people don't like it as much, it's a bit off, but I like it, I think it's really good. I really like it. Missing, this is another one of those ones where it's like, you don't see the film as in, here are camera angles, here are all of this stuff. But you sort of see it as a sort of like, here is one event happening, and like, here are texts, here's this, which I do like, because it's one of those like computer screen ones that are really interesting. There's also Justice League X Ruby, which I think in a bit I am going to review. But yeah. Miraculous, I didn't talk much about Miraculous, but I do like this one. Because it does, what if the main bad guy was good? And I'm sorry, that stuff is fun. It's really interesting as a general idea because that vibe is fun. So, I'm going to talk about a bit about what I would consider runner-up. Because I'm sorry, this was done dirty by a specific company, Disney. So this was originally by, I think, Blue Sky Studios, which is Nomura, but I heard about it, and I heard all the things through it, and it was about all of this stuff, and I heard before Blue Sky Studios got shut down, because this was roughly happening, they had a near-finished version of this. And I know a lot of people point out that, yeah, it tries to do something interesting but isn't as good. I like it. I find it really beautiful and really amazing. It's not close to what I think is the best, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But I am just going to say that this is amazing. I like the film. I want a sequel. Where is there a sequel? Why can't I get it? I don't think they're planning a sequel. I'm joking about this, but like I really don't think. Yeah, there's none sort of stuff. People wanted it so badly, but yeah, no official, but it looks possible because it did really well, but there was an opportunity that. Because what we have now is that, technically speaking, Netflix produced this. But what we could have had was Disney produce this. But because of certain reasons, they didn't. And then Netflix bought it up. But I wanted to talk about that because it is a film that is worth it. And if you hear the story, it's just so interesting. Because supposedly the film was done. They had everything, besides like I think a couple of small things on the animation, and they could have released it. And for some reason they didn't. And they did some stuff to it, I think, between when it was released to when it was on Netflix. but I'm not entirely sure what. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is Marwan, which is also, if I'm correct, yeah, the one from Straw Hat Goofy, not Straw Hat Goofy, the one from the sort of Craig Not Craig, also great, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I will fully admit is a good movie, and if any of them sort of beated the movie that I said, I kind of like that it's this one. It is fun. It is exciting. You get so many good character motivations, so many good like villains, and the thing that's happening, that's building up to the third film, which is coming out next year. I know there was a couple of things that made it what's going on, but it is coming out this year supposedly, as far as I can tell. But it is one thing that I think is so fun. But I don't mind waiting. But it was one of the ones that I'm like, out of these two films, it was close to be like, oh, this one. But at the end, I think this one. I'm glad with the choice. It is still a good one. I still both put them as some of the best for this year. And it's so good. I really do like it. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot of people be like, yeah, it's really good, or like, oh no, the other film should have got that, and be like, really? Because both of those are like art films that sort of like pushing outside of like what you traditionally would have as animation, with situations that aren't usually in the mainstream, telling stories that are interesting, fun, and dynamic. Obviously, some things of Across the Spider-Verse is not fully yet revealed. There's some stuff that is interesting, and there's some stuff that we need to figure out. Like, there's going to be a thing where it'd be like, oh, maybe Miguel is slightly wrong, which I said before. I was talking about it in the video for 2018, and how that was the other Spider-Man that I knew from Shattered Dimension. He's in that one, which is really good. He's also in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, as well. Which I don't know why. I think he's one of the other main characters. Because, like, I think Peggy Parker's in there, I think, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I do like it. Peggy Parker's on this one, besides a little bit. Same with, I think, Spider-Noir. But then again, I don't think you needed to put all of them back, because I think they're going to be in the next one, and they kind of maybe fall better. But yeah, I am excited. I am also going to say something for the next year's film that is going to come out. I know there's rumours supposedly saying that Andrew Garfield might be somewhere involved. I don't know. But yeah, I also like Spot, and the idea that this is also connected to the Spider-Verse also includes sort of the Venom movies. But yeah, I haven't seen any of them. Actually no, I saw Venom in an airplane. So probably not the best version of the screen, but yeah. But overall, I do think this is interesting. I do think this is fun. And I think there are some years I'm like, and this one was a year that was close. So close. But yeah, tomorrow or today, technically, because it's 30 minutes into today, this should be 23, and technically 24, you will see the last of these, and then, let's talk about that tomorrow anyway. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, I hope you like, and good night.